Hello, everyone, and welcome to my health page today. It's Heather, and we are going to talk a little bit about what are we going to talk about here? Closing your mouth. Closing your mouth really does work. Sorry about that. Anybody that's coming on here for the first time, just allow StreamYard access to your profile picture at the link above. You only have to do it once when you're joining my page, and then you should be able to comment on anything after you come on again on the next time. We all have witnessed those ads that are all over social media, TV, magazines, those big, huge billboards, those light up billboards all around your community, all over the place, that show women's bodies in unrealistic image. So we really need to accept that they're not a real and true image of what women should look like. So we're going to discuss a little bit about that and how we can kind of maybe change our mindset and how we can move forward from seeing those types of images and get that vision out of our head of what media is trying to shove down our throats. So for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Heather Edmondson. Hello, Janet. Janet is popping on here today. Hello, Janet. Thanks for supporting me today. For those of you who have not met me before, I'm popping in here from Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada, and it is lunchtime, and there's Patricia. Hello, Patricia. Thanks, girl, for jumping in here and spending some of your day with me. It's awesome. So we're going to talk, like I said, about closing your mouth. Does it really work? And we're going to try and go through some tips and strategies to help you through that. So skinny, like you see in the social media, all those pictures and posts and unrealistic images, body images of women, we need to try and switch our mindset and realize that those images have been altered. And just because they're skinny, does that really mean that they are fit or happy? I don't really think so. So let me know what your feelings are about some of those images that are splashed in our face all the time and thrown out there, and how it is creating our society and our younger generation to have a false appearance of themselves or false image of themselves. So we need to spend more energy and time not worrying about that, but realize that those are unrealistic pictures. They've been photoshopped, or they use shadows and angles to take those pictures, and they airbrush all the blemishes and dark circles from those girls' eyes, and they even airbrush out or digitally enhance the cellulite. They erase it with a little eraser in there in the pictures before they put them out there. And every one of us has cellulite. Doesn't matter how fit you are. That's just where our body stores our fat cells, and that's just how it builds up, and that's what it looks like. And like I said, these images, we really have to get past them and move forward. It's impossible to really look like that. And like I said, those girls are usually starving themselves to look like that, or they're on drugs and medication to look like that, and that's not a healthy way to be. We need to do a reality check-in with ourselves and really look at those pictures for what they are and what social media is trying to shove down our throats and say is unacceptable for how we should look. Give our head a shake and look at the mirror and start saying we love ourselves just the way that we are. I mean, it's okay to strive to be in a healthier, stronger, fit body as compared to just being skinny. The number on the scale isn't always a definition of whether you are fit or healthy. It's just a number. It could be water buildup in you. It could be that you haven't had a poop in a few days. Just to get real there with you. Sorry if anyone took offense to that, but that's the truth. Your intestines could be full of all kinds of stuff that hasn't been pushed through or pushed out, and that can weigh quite a bit. People's bone density, people's bones weigh different than others. So there's all kinds of factors involved in there. If you want to get a more accurate one, you can go and do the one where they submerge you underwater and then they calculate and they do pinch points and they I forget what it's, body mass index. They do that, and it's a little bit more of a realistic value of how much muscle you have as compared to fat. But really, do we really need to get caught up in all that? Unless you're a huge athlete that you have to say you're a boxer and you need to fit into a certain weight category, then maybe you need to get realistic with that. Or maybe you're a jockey and you have to ride on the back of a horse and you can't be over a certain weight. Maybe that's when something like that would come into play. But other than that, we shouldn't be so focused on what it says on the scale. And like I said, that's unhealthy behavior, and we're just teaching our younger generation to accept that. Janet is saying here, the first time I heard the song Try by Kobe Calais, is that how you say his name? I was so humbled by ladies who made themselves vulnerable and showed their real selves, no airbrushing. And that's awesome. I mean, people need to show others that it's acceptable to have rolls and curves instead of bony prominence sticking out. Do you want your hip bone sticking out, and do you want your shoulder blade sticking out, and do you want to see every rib in your rib cage? That's not a healthy look, and it's not an indication that maybe these people are very healthy, that maybe they are in a bad way of anorexia or bulimia. They're starving themselves, and then they're gorging themselves, and then they make themselves throw up. And this is a huge problem in our society with not just women. It can also be a factor for men. And Susan's also saying here, each person is an individual, can't only go by the scale for sure. Well, thank you, Susan. Thank you, Janet, for saying that. And Susan has jumped on here too. Hello, Susan. Thanks for coming on here today. And yes, we really need to get a better realistic image of our body, and respect our body for what it does for us in the day. It carries us around. Women that have had children need to respect that they're going to have a role there, because it carried 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, for myself, 4 babies in there. And yes, I have stretch marks, and yes, I have extra weight around my middle, but I work at it every day, and I do my exercises, and I eat healthy and on track. And I know what it's like to be starved for a while, because when I was sick with my cancer, I could literally not get anything down because my cancer was in my throat, for those of you that don't know. And it was on the base of my tongue. And when they did the radiation, I was burnt all across here. So anything that I tried to eat was hard going down, because it was all burnt and raw in there. And then because I had chemotherapy too, anything that I did eat came back up. So I lost quite a bit of weight in a short space of time. And it wasn't the fat that my body took, it was the muscle that the cancer took. So we have to have a more realistic image of what our body needs to look like. People would come up to me and say, "Oh, you look so good, Heather, you've lost weight." They had no idea that I was super sick and unhealthy, because I never lost my hair and I looked okay. I'd lost all this weight, but they had no idea what I was going through unless I told them. So just because somebody says is that they're a size 2, are they a healthy size 2? And if they're a size 16, are they an unhealthy size 16? Maybe they're just a curvy person. Maybe they're super tall compared to what maybe I'm at, or whoever made that BMI index chart, whoever that person was, and that has given us all such unrealistic ideas of what we should fit into, of what category we should fit into. We need to stop beating ourselves up. We need to make the decision to view these images more as an art project, as going through a museum and seeing all those statues of art that were made however many years ago they were made. We need to start looking at these pictures more as art. And if you look back at the art pictures that are in galleries from many, many years ago, the women aren't this big. They're curvy, and they have breasts, and they have buttocks, and they have thighs, and they have, you know, a nice bum. But and that was more respected to look like that, because it meant that you were getting enough to eat, and that you were a healthier for that back in those days when those pictures were painted. So we really need to get that out of our mind, that these images are what we need to look like, and like I said, view them as art. And our goal should be, like I said, to be in the best shape that we can be for our body, for our health, for our fitness, and quit trying to compare ourselves to others. We should never ever compare ourselves to others, and striving for health and fitness over skinny is a much better way to look at life. And this is the way we should try and teach and educate our younger generation that it is more acceptable to be healthy and fit and active than it is to be fitting into a certain size pair of clothes and being a certain size or a certain weight according to your height, according to that chart. So I challenge you to view more of the social media, the media of women, like I said, as a portrait, and give up on those ideas of this ideal woman or man. I guess we could have men here watching me too as well. Give up the idea that this is how everybody should fit and how everybody should fit into the box at a certain aspect or a certain way. We are all individuals, and we all have certain characteristics that make us an individual. And like I said, we are not a one size fits all. We should try and go with what we are and be happy with what we look like. So take your clothes off, stand in front of the mirror, and say to yourself, look yourself in the eye and say, I love you. I love every bit of you. And like I said, I think more people or more men appreciate a curvy woman than they do a skinny, bony woman. So I'm sorry if that offends anyone, but that is just reality. And my little, everybody's saying some great points here. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Susan. And thank you, Patricia. I will, Janet's got a young daughter here. She says, I totally agree. If my daughter went by weight, she would be a rail. She's almost 5'11". She's confident in herself and love it. That is awesome, because yeah, like she can't weigh, she's probably not meant to be 120 pounds if she's 5'11". Like she would have no meat on her. My daughter was saying the other day that when her husband graduated from high school, he's 6'4", and he was 140 pounds. Well, he must have been just a bone rack, no muscle or no fat on him at all, because he grew so much in his last few years of high school that his body hadn't caught up to it with the muscle factor. So yeah, being stick thin isn't always realistic. And I'm glad you guys are getting some value from this. And my little takeaway for you guys for today is raise the bar a little higher. Think of yourself in a better and higher esteem, and hold yourself accountable to eating healthy and getting your water in. And that'll make you in a better light for yourself, and you'll feel more energy and more confident in yourself. So if anybody is interested in getting some meal planning, I am a coach, and I can do one-to-one coaching. I could provide anybody with some PDFs of some of the recipes that I'm using right now. I can help you with some free assistance to get your brand made over. And if you're interested in that, just let me know. If you're trying to advance your business, the best way possible is to be live here like I am right now on video. And there is a video challenge coming up. My mentor is putting on for 21 days, starting August 19th and going till September 10th. And if you'd like some more information about that, I can put the link in after the fact. And hope you guys all got some value from today. And if you know of somebody that can benefit from this, be sure to pass it along to them. And we will see you all tomorrow at noon. Cheerio for now. Bye-bye.